Do Castano got enough for the upset, or is Charlo going to take care of business this time? It's your boy Hustles Home, and I'm back with another one. Today we on the got the rematch of the Castano Jamel Charlo 2. You know, this fight is going to be an exciting fight like the first one. I just watched the first one to refresh in my memory, and this fight, the 13th round, man. Hopefully it's the 13th round because this fight was a very good fight first time. It ain't no it in this reaction. There's no in this video. There's gonna be no theory. We got 12 rounds of action, two that we reviewed, and we went over to see what both fighters could do to win. Starting with the 3-belt champion Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo, he has a ridiculous jab. He has the better footwork. He has one punch knockout power, and he has the very good ring IQ. And as far as Castano is he has volume punches. He punches very hard, and he ain't scared. You know, he's not one of those fighters that get in the ring and when they get hit, they scared. Nah, Castano in there. Castano's a contender. I mean, Castano's a champion. Castano's a gladiator. He's in there. He's in the trenches. That's where he want to be. Now, in order for Castano to beat Jamel Charlo, he got to change some of his stripes. You know what I'm saying? He got to learn. He got to understand that he got to throw jabs, man. He got to go in there because in the last fight, Castano was. I feel like he was selling out. He was selling out a little bit in that fight, and when he was selling out, he was scoring and he was winning some of those rounds. But the bad thing about him selling out is Jamel Charlo is an awesome, amazing counterpuncher, and a lot of times when he was selling out in that fight, Jamel Charlo was hitting him with straight rights, boom, right down the middle. Stunned him like 5 times in the fight, about knocked him out in the second round, about knocked him out in the 10th round, about knocked him out in the 12th round, you know what I mean? But Castano, when he was selling out, he was scoring major. I think he hurt Charlo twice in that fight. And this was a great back and forth fight, man. The first time I had it 5-5 going into the 10th round. And then I felt like Jamel Charlo capitalized and won the last 2 rounds, so it was like a 7-5. That's what I got. And that's what I got kind of this fight is going to be around a 7-5 also, unless like one of those guys make major changes. And the major changes I expect Jamel Charlo to have, I expect Jamel Charlo to sharpen his jab up because in the last fight, his jab wasn't as sharp as it was against Tony Harrison. First or second fight, and I expect Jamel Charlo to throw punches. Throw more punches, variations, man. Throw that uppercut. That uppercut would have had Castano up out of there. But, you know, it was a kind of more lackluster performance last fight with Jamel Charlo, if you want to be real with it. But he still did an awesome job. He still did a pretty good job, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jamel Charlo has the quicker feet. You know, Jamel Charlo was turning... It was certain instances in that fight where Jamel Charlo had his back on the ropes and he was turning Brian Castano. So if he focused more on staying off the ropes, because the only time Castano had the opportunity to score on Mel was when his back was against the ropes. Now, if he focused on not having his back against the ropes at all in this fight and throwing that piston-like jab with the resolve to hurt him, you know, counter punching with an uppercut. I want to see a counter punch with an uppercut, catch and shoot, boom, right down the middle. I want to see at least one of those, you know, and I want to see Castano cut the ring off better because in the last fight you see Castano kind of had Jamel on his back foot a majority of that fight, but he was following him. He was plotting behind him. Whenever whoever was on the back foot was clearly losing the round. And except for whenever Charlo is pumping his jab, whenever he's not pumping his jab, he's on the back foot, he's leaning up against the ropes, and Castano's controlling him. Now, the thing about Castano is he got to set traps. He got to cut the ring off instead of following. It was following him a lot. He was following Charlo a lot. And I felt the same way, vice versa, whenever Charlo was cutting the ring off a little bit, you know, but I feel like it should be more consistent, especially consistent considering his coach is Derrick James, and he got a amazing sparring partner in Errol Spence, who's a master of cutting off the ring, who's a master of that piston like jab. I think he should take a page out of Errol Spence Jr. book, and with the straight to the body, straight to the solar plexus. I think that would be the difference in this fight. I think if he fights, because you know Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence have a very, very similar fighting style. The only difference is Errol Spence is more of a bulldozer, and Jamel Charlo is more of a sports car. If you want to be real, like he got the quick. He'll fight off the back foot. Errol Spence, if he can fight. His ideal fight is fighting in your chest. You know, that's not Jamel Charlo's forte. But whenever Errol Spence fight on the outside like he did Mikey Garcia, you can see the similarities between Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. But I just feel like Errol Spence Jr. has more dimensions than Jamel Charlo, but at the same time, they got the same coach. So I think we should expect piston-like jab from Jamel Charlo. We should expect the straight punch to the solar plexus. I feel like we should expect the counter uppercut, and we should expect some body shots. Please, Jamel, just give me 10 body shots around, bro. That's all a brother want. You ain't even gotta land them. Just throw 10 body shots around, and you will have this fight in control. As you can tell, I'm biased. I'm going for Jamel Charlo. You know, I'm American and he black. I'm going with the black guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm biased. I need Jamel Charlo to handle this business so we can get another undisputed champion of the world. But I would not be mad if Brian Castano won, because Brian Castano is a very good fighter. You know what I mean? And he is going to rocket into superstardom if he get these belts from Jamel Charlo. But I don't think he can do it, man. I think his opportunity. I don't know what was wrong with Jamel Charlo that first fight, but he missed the opportunity. I feel like Brian Castano missed a big opportunity. He could have beat Charlo. He had Charlo in trouble a couple times in that last fight, but I feel like Charlo was hurting him with counter punches. That's kind of why he was like going in a high guard, flat-footed, not cutting the ring off, you know. But my fight prediction would be the fight can go either two ways, but I got Charlo winning both ways. I got if Charlo come out extra sharp like he been doing, he gonna get him out of there in 5 to 6 rounds. If Charlo come out like he did last time, where it was clearly something like he was sluggish, I don't know if he didn't take his conditioning properly, because when he hurt Castano real bad and he couldn't finish because he was just acting all wild. He was on some Dillian White shit, just throwing wild shit. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is stay solid even when you hurt him. Stay solid. Cut the ring off and take care of business, man. It's your fight, Charlo. If Charlo wins this fight, in my opinion, Charlo should be top 5 pound for pound fighter based off his resume, based off it. He got all the belts in one of the toughest divisions. Think about this. If you look at Jamel Charlo's resume, all those guys that was at the top of the division, with the exception of 1 or 2 guys that he didn't fight, he destroyed these dudes, and Charlo cleaned his division out. Charlo would be the only undisputed champion that cleaned his division out, unless Errol Spence get the belt from Terrence Crawford, which they got to make the fight first. Those would be the only 2 guys that clean their division out for the belts, man. Salute to Charlo. If you win this fight, you top 5 pound for pound in my book. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hustlers Home. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Hustlers Home. And I'll see y'all later, because I got this post-fight reaction coming later on. So stay tuned and peace out.